Related to this is a question for Kelvin regarding the synchronous game of the Prisoner's Dilemma that we played. The question is, and I hope I understand this right, but when you teach it, do you present the Prisoner's Dilemma formally first before playing the game, or do you just, kind of throw students into the cold water and let them play the Prisoner's Dilemma without having them know what the underlying theory is?
Yeah, I don't talk about the theory first. I like introducing the game just so that they know. I mean, I make up my own story. My son has these two toys that he always brings, to sleep with, and I use them as characters in the Prisoner's Dilemma. They were caught stealing, and I kind of tell them the situation, and then I tell them, okay, now you do this, right? I mean, you are one of these characters. Like, what would you do? Would you, rat the other person out? And so I asked them to make the choice there, and then they, for the first time, try it themselves. And then from the results, we talk about dominant strategies. We talk about Nash equilibrium, why it might make sense that your partner said they were going to do something and then cheated you from that, right? I mean, are they just a bad person, or are they thinking about strategies? And, so kind of starting the discussion with the game, I think, is really helpful for them to be intrigued that, why did my partner do that? Or was it, did what I do just now, like, was that the right thing to do, right? So I think that makes it fun.
If I can pipe in, in talking to other instructors, I often get do I do the experiment before or after? And my answer is always yes. Right? And I think it depends. And so I think for something like the Prisoner's Dilemma, I think it's important to do the experiment before the theory. Right? And the reason is because when we present the theory, we are presenting, or some students might believe, we are presenting a prescription of what the students ought to do. Right? And I would rather, right, students learn that, it's hard to engage in cooperation in one-shot prisoners' dilemmas. I'd rather them learn that themselves. Right? In other situations, I'm not really worried that learning the outcome is going to lead their behavior. And a great example for me is, having students participate in a competitive market, supply and demand, right? And the way I teach that is, right, I go through the theory, right, and have students show the theoretical results, right, that perfectly competitive markets find the price that equates supply and demand, right? And then let students participate in the market, right, to show that, yes, we have this theoretical result. And when we bring this theory to the real world, right, we do get support, right, that buyers and sellers seeking their own best interest arrive at this outcome provided by theory. So I think one of the big questions is, if I tell students the theory, will that affect their behavior? And if the answer is yes, then I always do the game first.